everyone, and welcome to another edition of Not Done Yet, because I'm not done. Are you done?
Oh, I'm never done.
And let me introduce myself first. I'm Ruby, and I'm a teacher, and I've now got my own skincare company, an organic skincare company. And I'm really feel weird and wonderful saying it, but yeah, I do that. I go hiking. I'm at the point where I love life, and this wonderful lady is.
I'm Ellie, so health and wellness coach, but I'm just passionate about the fact that at the age of 42, I am my strongest physically, mentally than I have ever been. In my head, there's this little voice saying, just wait till you see me at 50. So we are both passionate about just reaching out and just telling people that you're not done yet.
Not done yet. I think when we're younger, and you think about a 50-year-old, you think 1 foot in the grave. That's what I used to think. She's 50, she's 1 foot in the grave. And now, and I'm hoping that the young children, especially the ones I teach, they get taught by a 55-year-old. I'm going to be 55 tomorrow, so they're going to be taught by a 55-year-old woman, and I feel it. I'm like, wow, but then inside, I'm like, I've got so much experience to give them. They're seeing a woman who's living her best life. So I think I'm an inspiration, not an old bag.
And I think actually, because I came out of full-time teaching to do what I do, and that was hard because I was thinking, well, what skills do I have? I've just taught for 16 years. I don't have any skills outside being a teacher. And someone said, well, write down all the skills you have from that and everything else. And if you are not a confident person, that can take a bit of doing to do, but get a blank piece of paper, no one needs to read it, and make yourself fill a whole page with what your skill from being a mum, maybe.
And ask people around you as well. Like friends will also tell you what you are.
And then what are you passionate about? And mine was because I'd watched so many people struggle, so many women struggle with confidence, with health, with weight, with energy. I'd seen children as young as 5 struggling with their health linked to nutrition, and that became a passion. It was an area where I thought I can actually make a difference here, which I guess is similar to what you do.
Yeah, for me it was the skin, the outside part, and especially now it's Ramadan at the moment, which is a month of fasting during the day. During the daylight hours, you fast, and it's what you and in the night we can eat as much as we want, but we don't. Anyway, so this is where you've got to really look after yourself. You've got to say, I've got to have my water input for the day. I've got to have my nutrition for the day. So it's all conscious eating, and all you want is that big fat samosa or a burger because you want to fill that hole, but you don't. You start with your salad, you start with your fruit, you start with your yogurts, knowing that I need to honor this body that I've been given and I've got to eat the right thing. So the next day I'm not struggling. So where were we going again?
Well, I think the only thing that can be tricky, yes, we went down that as well. The only thing that can be tricky is once you get to, people call it a certain age. I like this certain age thing. Once you get to a certain age, there's almost these two sides to it, because there is this side where you are more experienced, and yes, you do whatever you tell us, you do have more skills, you have more experience, your emotional intelligence has developed. But then there's the other side of it, that maybe because you have a lot more responsibilities, that taking any kind of risk in your life, it's not like when you're 18 and you might go, sod it, I'm going off on a gap year and everything will be fine. You can't necessarily do that. So it is trying to sway that balance towards, will the rewards of going towards what I really want outweigh the risks
to the unknown? And then you're feeling trapped where you are. If I don't do this, my pension, if I don't do this, if I leave now, my pension, my this, my that, can I afford to? Am I worth employing because I'm old? That's what you think. But really, you're not. You've got more experience than, a young person who's not done everything. And I think we need to remember what we are worth. And talking about the teacher skills, doing markets, I remembered what's my learning objective. My learning objective is to teach. Okay, so I'm going to put this at the front of the stall, all the teaching. Now, what's my next learning objective? What's my next objective? To make sure things are visible and they don't need to ask me, because when I go to a stall, I don't want to ask how much is that and what's that got in it. So I put all the information there so people can just look and browse and chat and talk. And that's my teacher skills. And even getting organized with putting things in boxes for the markets and everything, that's all from my teacher skills. So I've been able to transfer so many of the skills I've got, my mother skill, my mothering skills, all of that's come in handy for me to be where I am as a skincare entrepreneur, business owner. Yeah, and it's all worked. We're not coming in from the blue. We are coming in as steps, incremental steps to get us there. And we've got so many skills to impart and advice to impart on the way.
And I guess I've used my skills as well. I mean, I am one of these people who possibly had a habit of getting myself into bother over this, but it was pushing aside the voices that were telling me what I should be doing as a teacher and pushing them, listening, but just parking them here and getting to know every individual little being in that room with me and understanding them and knowing what they actually needed. That yes, what these people were saying maybe had to happen in some kind of way, but understanding each of those in the room. And when it comes to my coaching, when it comes to whether I'm running a networking, that is using that skill of I genuinely want to understand every person. I think there's a lot of misunderstood people, but that's come from teacher skills that I didn't know to translate. Yeah,
and every child's a different learner. Some learn in so many different ways, and we're adults doing the same thing. We learn in different ways. I think even when we're doing podcasts, how you see it and how I see it, and what you hone in on details wise, and what I hone in on details wise, but then it comes together and it becomes something magical.
So I guess our outcome of this one is thinking about what skills do you have. And what I sometimes do in my coaching group is I get them to I put a timer on for 2 minutes, which can feel like an incredibly long time. And I say, try and not stop writing for 2 minutes, because I know that all of you listening to this have 2 minutes writing worth of skills.
Yeah, 100%. From whatever you've done, wherever you've gone, we don't understand what our skills are. We don't understand what we are really good at. We just see them as natural, but they're not the skills. You might think, oh, I make a really good cup of tea, or I make a really nice meal, but it's the things that if you put together and sort of edited and made better and refined to get where you are. To you it's easy, to everybody else it's something to marvel at.
So in the last podcast we talked about kind of that ultimate dream, and we've taken a massive step back now, and it's gone, right, this is the dream. If you haven't listened to the last one, listen in, think about what is that dream, come back, right, let's start with what are the skills you already have. And if they're stuck, reach out.
Yeah.
So we've got Ruby, Glow by Lulu online, and I'm Ultimate Health by Ellie online. You can always drop us a message, or if you're stuck, just let us know, because this is what we get excited for.
I am also mentoring this young lady as well, who is starting her skincare business, more shampoos and conditioners. And I love it. It makes me feel so happy. And I know that if I step up to somebody in skincare and say, right, mentor me, I know they will help as well. And I think that's what we're here for, to help each other be the best in our, the best we can be, raise our tribe. We'll see you
on the next one.
See you in the next one.
See you soon.